FC Goa TV is brought to you by Sanao International.
Sanao International, the one-stop solution for all your communication services.
Merry Christmas to all our viewers. Hello and welcome to Simply Football Post Match Analysis on FC Goa TV. You're watching Prudent and I am Neeraj Prabhu. The Gors were hit hard on Saturday evening when FC Pune City scored a 2-0 victory at Nehru Stadium at Fatorda. So this was the first home defeat for Sergio Lobera's boys. It was a good football game where the visitors coached by Ranko Popovic came out well prepared for the task at hand, and that was to stop the free scoring Gors at the Fortress Fatorda. Once again 18,600 fans thronged the Nehru Stadium and created a rousing atmosphere. However, FC Goa's top goal scorer of the tournament so far, Ferran Corominas, and the midfield conductor, the architect of the attack, Manuel Lanzarote, somehow failed to create that magic again. So it was a bit of a difficult blow to take for all the fans because FC Goa were really looking good to get another victory at home, but that was not to be. As in football, you have to be prepared for every challenge at every step, in fact, and FC Pune City really came out and won that challenge at the home of FC Goa. We have with us in our studio, as always, former India striker Francis D'Souza, ready with his analysis, his expertise from the game, and Francis will tell us how things went for FC Goa, where they went wrong, or what FC Pune City did right in that football game. Francis?
Neeraj, you, myself and the football fans of Goa, FC Goa, I totally disappointed. This is not going to make their Christmas any cheerful.
Absolutely.
Because they would like a victory of their favourite strong contenders, as we call them, to earn those 3 points and perhaps looking forward for another hat-trick from Koro.
Sure.
But that didn't happen. And that's the beautiful game that we are talking about.
Yeah.
And Pune went away with 3 points. Full marks to Pune. I think Popovic was very smart. He knew that there was some way that you could stop Koro and his boys. So what did he do is he tried to play in his own half with a number of players and tried to frustrate them through Adil Khan in the midfield. Yeah, if you've seen, Adil Khan has been haggling Koro for 2-3 times in the match, and that's where he put him off rhythm. That also happened to Manuel Lanzarote, because there was a lot of body play in the first initial 20 minutes. Before they could get their confidence, the Pune defenders, Goa created those chances. Unfortunately, they couldn't convert. But they didn't play their free-flowing football that everybody has seen them play with positive results. So yesterday that was missing, and in Pune FC deserved their victory because they played to a strategy. They had those two fine strikers of last ISL, Alvaro and Marcelino, who delivered for them.
Yes.
So that is what was the idea that Popovic had come with. They took control of the midfield, disrupted the free flow of FC Goa, and then the body language of the players was different. In fact, I think they lost their concentration. They started committing petty fouls, appealing to a referee, and that's where they lost the grip on the game.
Right. It was really a tactical battle between Ranko Popovic and Sergio Lobera. Popovic looked very confident at the pre-match briefing when he told the reporters that he's looking to stop the Gors from scoring, when he was told that FC Goa had scored 4 and 5 goals at their home in the previous successive 2 home games. But the Serbian coach seemed really confident that he knew his plan would work here. And at the post-match press conference yesterday, he told the reporters that the plan was to make the Goan players nervous by not allowing them the ball for the time that they wanted to see it. So it worked for him.
Yes, fortunately, because I think what happened to our Goan players, they might have been a little complacent with the fact the big victories that they got earlier. I thought that Pune hadn't performed very well in the last matches of theirs. And coming to this home match, and being a home match, you sometimes as a player tend to relax a bit. And when you sort of the game goes away from you, it's difficult for you to come back in the game. If you have seen Manuel also, his shots were going haywire, not anywhere close to the target. And so that's where I think the body language was telling that they were not in their element yesterday and they couldn't get their act together.
Even the combination of Marcelino and Alfaro worked really well compared to the Lanzarote and Corominas combination.
In fact, if you see, they are the best strikers in the competition last year, and that must have weighed very heavily on the Goan defence, because Goan defence was a big question mark always, right from the competition. So with these two lethal strikers, I mean, there would definitely be some panic in the defence, and they took advantage of this panic because Alvaro was 2 steps behind Ali, and he managed to outrun him and score that goal. Absolutely. So you can understand the cold feet that the defender gets when these balls are played to each other.
Even the second goal, I think the way the ball needed to be cleared by the defender, the technique used wasn't right, and makeshift left back at that time, Mandar, his clearance hit Alfaro and the ball came to Luka and he scored the second goal.
It's like I say, when you are against 2 top strikers, you develop cold feet and your reaction ability is slow, your thinking is slow, and Mandar was in the right place to do the clearance. Unfortunately, it happens in this game of football that if you have the luck, things will go your way. Things didn't go the way FC Goa, but it went for Luka to do the finishing. So that was where the element of luck played for FC Pune.
Both these goals could be attributed to a weak defense more than the class of making the goal, isn't it?
No, what I thought a very intelligent pass by Marcelino, which was played to Alvaro, and very rightly so. The only difference was that all the 2 stopper backs were parallel to each other. If one had little depth in the attack, I think that's when he would be able to cover that ball. There was no cover for the other defender. Right. So that's where they faltered.
Coach, what are your thoughts on the performance today?
Bueno, yo creo que ha habido diferentes momentos dentro del partido.
I think we had different moments within the game.
Creo que hemos tenido la posibilidad de ponernos por delante.
I think we had the opportunity to score first and get ahead in the game.
Creo que si nos hubiéramos puesto por delante en el marcador, el partido hubiera sido diferente.
And had we gone ahead and scored, the game would have been completely different.
Porque el equipo contrario se hubiera tenido que abrir más y no hubiera jugado buscando el contraataque.
And because if we'd gone ahead, the other team would have had to sort of, open their game up and try and play a little bit more and not try and play in the counter like they did.
Y quizás nosotros hubiéramos podido encontrar más espacios.
And maybe we would have found more space.
No hemos estado efectivos, no hemos sido capaces de ponernos por delante en el marcador.
We weren't effective today. We didn't end up actually going ahead in the scoreline.
Cuando iban pasando los minutos, no estábamos cómodos.
And as the minutes were passing by, we weren't comfortable.
Hemos tenido precipitación por querer marcar el gol rápido y eso ha hecho olvidarnos un poco de nuestro juego.
As a pressure, we were trying to score the goal as much as possible. Sort of, we lost our way a little bit in the style of play that we wanted to put out onto the field.
Y cuando nos alejamos de nuestro juego, nos cuesta más crear ocasiones.
And the moment we sort of let our style of play go, it makes it difficult for us to create chances.
Creo que ellos han aprovechado las suyas, se han puesto por delante en el marcador y se han llevado el partido, nada que decir.
They took their chances, they got ahead in the game, and then once they did that, it was their game.
What to say about the defense? Do you think the defense let you down today?
My question is answered.
No, yo creo, es lo que digo siempre, yo creo que ganamos y perdemos como equipo.
Like I've said before, we lose and win as a team.
Como ya he dicho anteriormente, si hubiéramos estado acertados en las ocasiones que hemos tenido, el partido hubiera sido diferente.
Like I said earlier, you know, if we'd taken our chances, the game would have been completely different.
Cuando hemos ido muy arriba, el partido se ha abierto y ellos en un contraataque han sido capaces de marcarnos un gol.
When we moved up the field, we left a little bit of space behind, and then they took advantage of that to go and score the goal.
Pero no veo que sea solo un problema defensivo hoy.
But I don't see it as a problem just defensively.
Hi coach, this is Gananil from ISL Social Media. My question to you is, even after the 2-goal lead by Pune, FC Goa was still probing very well, to score a goal. How difficult was it to create those chances later on?
Sí, ha sido difícil porque ellos defensivamente estaban bien organizados, ellos no han ido a presionarnos arriba, ellos se han mantenido en su propio campo intentando que no encontráramos espacios, nos ha costado encontrar espacios y no hemos jugado con comodidad como hemos jugado otros partidos, ¿no? Pero vuelvo a repetir, si la ocasión que hemos generado, el palo o otras acciones que hemos tenido en la primera parte, 2 o 3 claras, hubiéramos marcado el partido, hubiera sido diferente.
Yeah, it is true that we suffered a little bit today because the other team sort of didn't give much space. They didn't try to have the attackers push on the ball. They were staying back, sitting back, and tried to hit us on the counter, and that's what happened. But again, like had we taken our chances, it would have been very different. We had one that hit the post, we had a few close shaves. If any of them went in, it would have been a completely different game altogether.
What would you say are the positives from this particular game?
Bueno, que nos ponen los pies en el suelo.
Make sure that our feet are grounded.
Que nos tenemos que dar cuenta que tenemos que seguir trabajando y mejorar mucho.
It tells us that we still have a lot of work to do and there's still a lot left in the league.
Hoy es una derrota dolorosa porque teníamos una muy buena oportunidad de poder sumar 3 puntos en casa y ponernos líderes en solitario.
Today is a very painful loss because we had the opportunity to take the 3 points at home and also put ourselves way above the rest of the teams.
Pero tenemos un partido menos que otros equipos que están arriba y depende de nosotros estar arriba en la clasificación.
But we still have a game in hand, and if we take our chances in that game, then we'll still end up being top of the table.
Por eso tenemos que mejorar de estos errores.
That's why we have to improve our mistakes.
Y ser capaces del siguiente partido, dependiendo de nosotros, si sumamos 3 puntos estaremos arriba.
And we have to be capable that in the next game, when the opportunity comes, that it's dependent on us to take the 3 points and go up the table again.
Sorry, my question was, what are the positives that you take from this particular game?
Que nos han puesto los pies en el suelo.
That we put our feet still on the ground.
Que nos hemos dado cuenta de la realidad.
That we got a vibe of what reality is.
En esta liga, si no estás al 100%, no ganas los partidos.
In this league, if you're not 100%, you're not going to win the games.
Y hoy ha sido una lección para aprender.
And today has been an opportunity for us to learn that.
Today's game was physically very challenging. The players were moving towards each other very well. Plus, there were quite a lot of heated conversations with the referees, and even at the halftime, both the coaches had conversations with the referees. Do you feel today's game was little on the heated side?
Bueno, yo, si dijera hoy, no hemos perdido por el árbitro, hemos perdido nosotros.
Today we didn't lose because of the referee, we lost because of ourselves.
Si yo hablara ahora del árbitro, creo que no sería responsable.
If I speak about the referee, it wouldn't be responsible.
Yo tengo que asumir mi responsabilidad y el árbitro hoy no tiene ninguna culpa de los 3 puntos que hemos perdido.
I have to assume the responsibility. The referee has no responsibility in the 3 points that we lost today.
Y físicamente, pues bueno, sí, nos ha costado un poquito más porque como el partido no hemos tenido la posesión de balón que en otros partidos tenemos, el partido ha sido un partido de ida y vuelta donde había mucho recorrido y eso no nos beneficia.
And with regards to the physicality of the game, yes, it was a little difficult for us today because we didn't have a lot of the ball. The game was back and forth, up and down both sides, so that sort of hurt us a little bit because physically we prefer to have the ball and sort of keep that moving.
Can we have the last 2 questions?
Sir, don't you think that referee denied 2 penalties for your team when your player was brought down in the box?
Yo al árbitro no lo entreno y no puedo mejorarlo.
I don't train the referee and I can't improve him.
A mi equipo lo entreno yo. Puedo mejorarlo.
And I can improve my team.
Y hoy mi equipo tiene que mejorar.
And today my team has to improve.
Sir, but I'm asking your opinion whether there were penalties or not.
no lo he visto, no he tenido la posibilidad de verlo en el vídeo, pero ustedes lo han visto. Quizá han tenido la posibilidad de verlo. ¿Son penaltis?
We haven't had the opportunity to see the penalties yet, so he's saying you guys have had, so you tell us whether it's a penalty or not. We haven't seen it. He's asking you.
Yeah. ¿Sí? Pues mañana lo leeré en los periódicos.
So tomorrow I'll read that in your match report.
Thank you.
Sorry?
You took off Jamu at the beginning of the second half. Was the reason that he was losing concentration? Was on a yellow card?
Tenía molestias, en el descanso se ha quejado de que tenía molestias, no había podido entrenar al 100% durante toda la semana y ha sido un cambio obligatorio porque tenía molestias y con esas molestias podíamos tener más riesgo de que se lesionara y aparte tenía una tarjeta. Jugar con molestias y una tarjeta es complicado.
He had a knock that he was carrying through the week. He hadn't trained entirely through the week as well, and this was something that he made us aware of at halftime, that it was something that was creeping up again. And we didn't want to take the risk and have him go out for further time than we actually wanted him to. So it was just a precautionary exit that we had to make because we didn't have much of a choice.
Ha sido un cambio obligado.
Yeah, it was a obligatory change.
FC Goa coach Sergio Lobera admitted that the Gors somehow lost their usual style of play of building from the back, and that did not help their chances. He also admitted that Pune City had really played well and they had not allowed them more space than they would have loved to.
I think some coaches have a different sort of approach. If the team doesn't function, they will change the system. They will pull one player a little back, or they will add another defender or a midfielder and try to take control of the match. But in this case, I don't think there is plan B for because he's been very confident in getting his attacking type of football and the possession football as their strength. So I think he didn't have much option to try it out, because you can't really try something during the competition. It has to be tried during the practice matches. So that's why he persisted on continuing with the same style of play. But as you know, there are ifs and buts. If I had scored, things would have been different. But football is a game of goals. Right. Everybody likes to score first, take the advantage, dominate, and then try to score again. But that didn't happen. So that's why we don't have a favourable result.
Let's now take a short commercial break, and we'll be back soon. Welcome back. We still have with us Francis D'Souza. Francis, FC Pune City's coach Ranko Popovic was really delighted after the game, and in the post-match press conference he disclosed that his plan really worked very well because the players of FC Pune City played with very high level of concentration. So it shows that if you really give your best and switch on all the time, you can achieve any result.
You know, this FC Goa had created such a big psychological pressure on all the teams in the competition by their high scoring ability. So everyone was determined to lift their game up to a certain level. Otherwise it was not possible for them to contain those marauding Coro and Manuel Lazzaroni. So I think everyone knew what his responsibility was. If they don't give 100%, I mean they could be in for trouble, and that's what they did. And I think it was a collective effort for the full team to come together and get this victory for them. Initially the first 20 minutes, I think FC Goa could have turned the match in their favour. But when that didn't happen, the FC Pune players got into confidence, and then they knew that this was the chance for them to win, and that's how they got this victory.
Three of the top performers for Pune City last night were Adil Khan, who was adjudged the hero of the match. Their goalkeeper Vishal Kaith was in also a very good form, and he made crucial saves. Also the defender Gurtej Singh really did well. One of his clearance was absolutely on the money when Coro was about to trigger his shot at the goal, and at that in the nick of the time Gurtej came in with a sweeping clearance. Wonderful effort by these three players along with Emiliano and Marcelino.
Yes, that's what I am saying, that what we saw with them was their 100%. You know, that's what helped them achieve this thing. Initially 20 minutes, I think there was panic in FC Pune defence. The goalkeeper was also nervous because he palmed away a ball which was still on the ground, and Koro hit the upright.
Yes.
So you could see the panic that they were going through the first 20 minutes.
Yes.
And as I said, after they overcame that 20 minutes of pressure from FC Goa, they start getting confidence, and then they believed in themselves that they could get this victory. And to make matters easier for them, Ahmed Jahua, Manuel lost their cool. They started arguing with the referees. They didn't come up with their normal game and made things easier for FC Pune.
Right. Talking about Ahmed Jahu, we've seen him absolutely being a pivot in the central midfield, where it's about stopping the rival attacks and supplying your attack line with early balls. So Jahu was replaced in the 53rd minute, and it was quite a surprise that we learned at the post match that he probably was carrying a knock that could have aggravated if he had played for long. And it only emerged at the half-time interval that Jahu got this to the notice of the coach, and it was obligatory change for the coach. That would have been a setback for FC Goa when you replace such a player at such a short notice. So FC Goa couldn't get their game organized thereafter.
Yeah, because Ahmed Jahu was a defensive midfielder who could catch the opponents unaware with his long, accurate balls, which were going to Koro or to Manuel. That was missing. This surprise element ball that was coming from Jahu, that was missing because that was their strength. And with him not being on the field, it made things even easier, because when he was replaced, he wasn't replaced by a defensive midfielder. So that's where FC Goa also were at a disadvantage.
Even the style of play that they lost, according to the coach, is because Jahu went in and then there were no early balls. Probably there were more crosses thereafter, which is unusual for FC Goa, because the number of crosses in this game by FC Goa were 15. And overall in the tournament so far, FC Goa are at the bottom with 47 crosses in 6 games. So FC Goa don't play much with the crosses style of football.
Yes, because what happens is when they play in the midfield, they stretch the full entire defense in the midfield. There are always gaps created in between. So when they are playing on the wings, they get the ball backwards for Jahu or Manuel or Edu Bedia to put the through penetrative ball, because they create the gaps in between the stoppers and the wing backs, and that's where they exploit by playing, and that is the strategy that they use. That's why you find very few balls from the wings coming to the center, because I don't think that FC Goa strikers are very good headers also. So considering that limitation, the coach has tried to use this strategy.
So that's all how complicated it sometimes gets with such small differences, making a match really difficult to chase, and that's what happened. FC Pune City also edged FC Goa on the physicality, and we saw how that went about. The point of discussion was also the performance of the referee, and both the coaches didn't look happy with how referee Rowan Arumugam performed last night. How was your analysis about the refereeing part of it?
The most experienced All India Football Federation referee on the pitch yesterday, he has a very good reputation in the past. But for yesterday, I think that there was a lot to be desired. Very seldom you see players in Premier League or La Liga or any league garroting the referees and putting pressure on him to give decisions. This is never seen as far as I know, and this is what he allowed yesterday, to players to put pressure on him and to get decisions in their favour. And if he was a little bit strict, he could have got decisions and good control over the match. For a good referee, you need courage, you need observation, and you need to make those decisions. There were one penalty decision each for each team on either side, which he never had the courage to show, although replays after showed that there were clear penalties. that's what the referee is. You have to have the courage. There was also a very close call for Ahmed Jahu for his second card. I think probably if he didn't have the first yellow card, referee would have still given him a caution for that.
For the tug of shirt.
For the tug of the shirt. So that's where you players realize how lenient you are and they take advantage.
ATK in Kolkata is the next stop for FC Goa, and the game is rescheduled from 31st December to January 3rd. Then FC Goa play in Guwahati against Northeast United on January 6th. So 2 games in 3 days is a tough task now for FC Goa.
Yes, definitely, because they have been used to having longer breaks in between all the other earlier fixtures. But being away and also in the cold conditions in Calcutta and in Guwahati, I think it will be favourable for the Spanish players. But still, when you play an away match, acclimatization takes some time, and I think there should not be a problem, because I think FC Goa will wake up after this defeat, and that's a good sign that has happened to FC Goa for these away 2 matches, and I think they will come in flying colours.
FC Goa will come back to Fatorda on January 11th, playing against the new entrants Jamshedpur FC. So now approaching the halfway mark, which will be achieved on January 11th for us, which will be our 9th game. What do you see happening? Right now FC Goa are having 1 game in hand. If they win that, they'll create opening of at least 2 points at the top of the table. So looking for any target in the next 2 games, how many points would be a minimum target for the coach Lobera now?
I think he should concentrate on getting as many points as possible in the earlier matches, because if things go wrong for him later on, maybe he has problem with some injuries, somebody has a niggle or something like that. So if he achieves those points, he's sitting pretty. So he should not have any worry, and that should be the aim of getting those points early and being on the top.
Okay, Francis, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you. I want to wish all the FC Goa fans and everybody a Merry Xmas and a very Happy New Year. And when they come back on the 11th, I think the New Year will start hopefully very well for FC Goa. Keep smiling and keep cheering FC Goa.
So that's all the time we have with us in today's program. Keep watching Prudent and follow us on Facebook and log on to our website to keep pace with the continuous coverage of FC Goa in the ISL 4. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.